my man Jeff Feasel with us here today. All right. And I don't believe my camera is working. Imagine that. What's up, everybody? Pigpen, the one and only here. And, well, looks like we have a little bit of a technical difficulty with the camera.
It's pretty crazy seeing myself like that.
Yeah. Well, I think we're going to be, give me 2 seconds, guys. Hopefully it'll. What's up, guys? Pigpen, the one and only here. We are back. Who's ready for a little turf guide? April 2nd, 2018. Jeff, are you excited as I am?
I am excited.
All right. I think we're back now. It's going to take a few seconds before people see us, but anyways, whew, we got a lot to talk about, man. First of all, let's get right to it. This week's events, I'm all out of sorts here, guys. I fell asleep on the couch. I was telling Jeff I fell asleep on the couch, and I woke up just like a few minutes ago, like, I got to do a thumbnail, got to get my guests in line, got to come up with ideas to talk about. So we're here. This week's turf events, A-Class American, S-Class American, and R-Class American. Oh, right. So we're going to talk turf. We're going to get right to it because we have other stuff to talk about. Jeff, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. And I think everybody else here knows what I'm talking about. So let's get to it. A-Class American. Now, you mentioned this, we've had A-Class a few times recently. So we're going to breeze right through this. I think everybody's pretty comfortable with A-Class at this point in time. But for the sake of the show, let's get to it. Jeff, what cars do you think you'll be seeing A-Class American event?
Most likely the Camaro Z28, the 2014 Camaro Z28, and the XD. Seen plenty of those over the weekend.
Yep.
2014 Chevy Stingrays. Tons of those. The 2010 and the 2016, or the 2016 Camaro SS.
Yep. Okay.
And the 2010 Camaro SS, which has parts this week, I believe.
Yes, it does. I think that's the car I saw.
You'll be seeing plenty of those, and they can hold their own. They do very well in 63 lobby as well. The car I tried to win and kept losing my Z28s against is the Ford Falcon GT Street Edition. That car is fast in the 63 lobby, and
I have a ton of those cars, actually.
Yeah, those are good cars in the 63 lobby.
I was not aware of that, but now I do. I might actually run those this week because they said I've got a bunch of them in there, and they've just been sitting there.
I've seen a couple of the 1970 Challenger RTs, not a whole lot. Some guys were trying to use those, but they're not the best car to be using against the Z28 in the Stingray. 2000 Chevy Corvette. I had a couple WWEs that were tuned, and those aren't very good against the Z28s either. Lost a couple of those.
I would imagine so. Real quick here, just gonna give some shout outs. People who are here early in the live stream, Mr. Banana first. Mr. Banana. He usually always joins us, but he's never first. This is a first, I believe, for Mr. Banana. Alex the Gamer 23 here. Epic Killa. Javon Sampson, Jeffrey Perez, Savage King, Dandy Client, Nana Zizo. I don't know what this comment means. Burger King lettuce, Burger King foot lettuce. I had no idea. Edward Lopez, as always. Sean Fox, The list goes on and on. Racing Rivals, Jay, Angel Aviles, Jersey Kid. I mean, we go on and on as we scroll down here. Oh my gosh, there's some red line. It's Tadia. I mean, it goes on. Guys, just want to let you know, appreciate you putting those notifications on so you join me right at the beginning. I was just telling Jeff, when I go live, I sit there, I hit live, and I go, cross my fingers. Is anybody going to join me today? And I wait and I wait. There's a delay, and then all of a sudden I see people joining, and it's like a huge relief. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and Jeff. A-class American car turf event first. We're going to breeze through this because we have to pick Mr. Feasel's brain. And Jeff knows why. Most of you guys know why. Jeff was recently under the most secret of circumstances, I will say, invited to California to attend this year's Players Summit at Carbonated in El Segundo, California. And I, as well as everybody else, want to know what happened. What'd you guys talk about? What were the secret things you guys plotted? No, I'm just curious. Just curious how it went on, how it all went down, man. How they treated you and all that good stuff.
Yeah, they are fantastic over there. Everyone is really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
They immediately come to you and hello, how are you?
Yeah.
And explain to you what they're doing, what their job is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of tough, man. We knew ahead of time that we were going, but couldn't tell a soul.
I know, that must have burned you.
Live stream. Here I am doing live streams with you, and it's like the Monday before I'm leaving, and it's like, man, I got to pack yet, and I got to do this, I got to get up and be at the airport.
So, hold on. Last Monday, we live stream, as we have many Mondays in a row. So last Monday, we were live streaming, and at that point in time, obviously, you knew you were going, right?
Right.
What about the Monday before?
So
what's that?
I had known several weeks before, but last Monday was like I had already started packing, and then you asked if I was available, and I was like, yeah, but I kind of got to get up early.
Oh, I remember. So that was because you were taking a.
Yeah, my first flight was at 9 o'clock.
See, it all comes together. I like how all the pieces of the puzzle come together pretty quickly here. Awesome. So you get there, you land at, I'm guessing, LAX.
Yep. Well, at first I had a layover in Chicago, which was no big deal. It's like a 37-minute flight from home to there.
Yep. Okay.
But we had to delay because of the rain. We had a bunch of rain here in Chicago, so we delayed. So then when I get off the plane, it's like they're boarding.
Yeah.
And I'm on the opposite end of O'Hare Airport, dude, and I'm running to the plane. And literally
always a great feeling.
Yeah. So, yeah, we take off, land in LAX. It was a pretty bumpy ride, to say the least.
Yeah.
A lot of turbulence on that plane on the way out. Land in LAX, and I get off the plane. Of course, now I have signal on my phone, and I've got a bunch of notifications. And the first person I'm looking for is CJ. CJ Adams, the Dirty Hammer. And I message him, and he's like, I'm down here. I'm outside at 7B, and I'm out here smoking. And I was like, all right, so, well, I'm at 72C or something like that. So
right.
I'm thinking it's on the other side of the airport. And he's like, no, just go to baggage claim right outside. So that was cool. I didn't have to go so far. But
right.
Met up with CJ, and he's like this fucking giant dude. This guy is huge. Great, big, massive man, And I'm thinking the whole time it's some younger kid.
Yeah.
Everybody's a kid to me, but.
Right. Now, is he as cool in person as he is, in game? And,
yeah. Everybody's really, really cool. And, CJ's on my team, so we're both trying to keep secrets.
Yeah, it's got to be tough, man. you're bursting at the seams. You want to tell everybody, but obviously you can't. And it's just like, oh, it's burning you. So you get there. You take. I'm guessing either somebody picks you up. You take an Uber to.
Yep, we Ubered to the hotel, and when we walked in, there was Daniel and Brian and Frank.
Oh, right there
waiting on us,
at the hotel.
Right there in the lobby. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Shook everybody's hands and shared what we had to share with each other, and then boom, we're off to eat. Daniel took us out for lunch, and well, it was lunch there, but it was 4 o'clock for me, so
yeah.
And I hadn't eaten all day, so I've been up since 5, so about 11 hours without eating.
Yep. So you got there. That must have been a Tuesday then.
A Tuesday afternoon, yeah.
Okay, so you got there Tuesday afternoon. You get there. Daniel meets you at the hotel with Frank and Brian and you and CJ. So there's still a couple people missing at this point in time.
It's just Jeffrey, J-Speed. He was the only one. And
okay. All right.
So he ended up. What did he do? Did he follow us? I'm trying to think if he went. I think he came later. He might have been driving there, so he was running late. He lives in California, so he just drove his car over, which was kind of nice that we had a car to ride in.
Speaking of that, I saw a video of a car ride.
Yeah, I was with Jeff then, so I didn't get to be a part of it, but they were sending us pictures and we were rolling.
I saw some pictures online. Maybe we'll talk about that, maybe not. I don't know what the deal is. But so you guys, you have some food, and at what point did you get to the Carbonated Studios?
Right away, right after lunch. We went right there.
Okay, so you went there.
Yeah, we went right there, and then we walked in on a meeting, and we met 2 or 3 of the guys there. Colby, and then Brendan, remember Breadman? From some of the live streams.
Yeah, yeah, I remember him, and I remember going, what the hell was his name? Brent? No, was it? All right, it is.
Yeah.
All right.
And he's really cool. But Colby's like, wow, you're surreal. I pictured you to be a lot younger. I'm like, no.
You're like, thanks, asshole. Thanks for calling me old.
But he's just slightly younger than I am, so it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But,
what's up, Asho? Treat.
And we had a meeting right off the bat.
Wow. Right to business, huh? No dilly-dallying. No, right to business. Okay, so so you got there. I'm sure they gave you like a quick little tour.
Not at first.
No, it was right to business.
In fact, right to business. In fact, we didn't really get a tour until like Thursday night. Maybe it was Wednesday night. Might have been Wednesday night.
Wow. Okay.
When they took us downstairs and showed us all the computers and where all the magic's made.
Yep. So you guys hung out upstairs, I'm assuming, most of the time. That's where I saw. That's where I think they live stream from upstairs, right?
Yeah. A little bitty room. You'd think that thing would be this great big room, but it's this tiny room.
Is that the one that's straight back?
3 chairs.
Straight all the way back?
Yeah, straight all the way back, and then it's like a little closet
around the corner.
Or something, maybe.
Is it around that's the where they live stream in there?
Yeah, inside that little closet or whatever.
Oh, I thought they. Oh yeah, I thought they live streamed straight ahead in that room.
No.
Oh wow. So it's funny how you live stream like this right here. I'm in my room, but with the green screen behind you, you could be literally in a closet and nobody would know because the magic of computers and green screens, all that good stuff. Man, that's crazy. All right, so man, so you were kind of were you nervous at all?
Not really. Like the first day, I was anxious more than anything.
Did you know you were going to live stream?
They said initially that we were going to do an interview.
Yeah.
And that's all they said. They didn't, say it was going to be live on Twitch, but well, not initially, but then they finally did tell us, and there was some nerves.
Yeah.
We did like a little pre-video interview so that we could find out what was going on. Each person picked what they wanted to talk about prior to going live. And like you've probably seen, I chose the Tuner Challenge because I wanted to be able to get my point across to everybody that it's not just about being a tuner. I mean, you can simply slap on a couple parts onto a car and go race it and start collecting points, or not points, but collectibles and getting crates and start earning money right off the bat. I mean, as soon as the game launches, you can go Tuner Challenge and start earning. I mean, it's a pretty big deal.
All right, tell you what.
Folks don't realize that, but
let's pause. We'll come right back to that in a few because I want to know a little bit more about Tuner Challenge. And now that you're not right there with them, you know, hanging out, listening. I mean, maybe they are listening, but, you know, no, I want to hear what you really have to say. And let's get deep into this Tuner Challenge because I want to know what it is. Other people want to know more about the prizes, the rewards, how it unfolds, as much as you know, obviously. I want to know about that. So let's talk about that just after this. We're going to talk about S-Class American Turf event right now. Now, I didn't think there were this many cars. I said, S-Class has a lot. There's a lot of cars in S-Class that I really like, but when you put that modifier in the American, I was like, there's really not many cars. And then obviously Jeff's like, you're an idiot, man. There's a lot. And I was like, really? So let's get to it real quick, and we'll jump right back into 7.0 with Jeff Beazle, who went to El Segundo, California, to the Carbonated Studios for the 2018 Players Summit. More on that in just a few. Right now, me and Jeff are going to go over S-Class American turf-eligible cars. All right, let's get to it.
Right on. So, like, the first car you're going to think about for S-Class USA is, you know, maybe two cars. You're going to think about the Chevy Copo.
Yep.
And the 2012 SRT Viper GTS.
Yep, I'm telling you, the Copo was the first one I thought of.
Right. You know, some may think about the 2006 Ford GT. Been around a lot longer than either one of those cars.
That Ford GT has been around, I believe, almost since day one. Very
I'm
very
pretty
old.
Sure it is.
And
then my favorite, which is a lot of people's favorite, is the Chevy Corvette ZR1. And I will be definitely using that car.
You hear this? Need for Speed for Life and Never Giving Up. Believe it. Says, I'm watching your live stream on 3 of my devices. You're the man.
Attaboy.
All right. So, okay. What other S-Class American cars are eligible for turf this weekend?
Well, there's both of the Hellcats, the 2015 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat.
Yep.
And the 2015 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat.
What about the Demon? What class is that?
The Demon is the R class.
Is that an R class? Okay, so that's not eligible for this event. Okay, cool.
No, but it will definitely be eligible for the last event.
All right, so what other cars? What other cars?
There was several of the F&F cars. Dodge Viper SRT 10.
Dodge Challenger. I'm sorry, never mind. Don't listen to me.
The 1970 Mia's Ford Escort. 1969 Romans Anvil Ford Mustang.
Yep. There's a lot of F&F cars.
Yeah, there are, and there was so many.
I'm looking at them now, going, "Wow!" There's a lot of them out there. I mean, I rarely think of the F&F cars, but fact is, there's a lot of them, and a lot of them are eligible. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
we have
Letty's Challenger.
Dom's Dodge Viper SRT 10, Dom's Plymouth Roadrunner. A couple good ones. Another one that I found in my garage and I started tuning today is the 2008 Dodge Magnum RE turf car. It was the Halloween turf where they had James and Frankenstein, and I don't remember what all else.
Yeah. Yep.
So see what that thing will do.
I mean, we were talking, there's a lot in this class that I wasn't aware of, but there's a lot that are eligible, but there's also a lot that you probably won't see. Like, you might not see, like, the Dodge Viper Freedom Edition.
Right.
What is I can't even remember what this car is. The Dodge Viper SLD?
SLD?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the 2005 Dodge Viper SLD 10. That was,
Oh, yeah, SLD 10, right, yes.
I think that was I think that might have been in like one of the Racer Club cars.
I just don't remember that. I mean, there's so many cars out there. It's like, you know, I'll tell you, that's the one thing, like, for a while there, they were pretty skimpy putting cars out years back. You know, you'd get some cars, you know, there'd be a new crate, there'd be cars released. And that was it. Every once in a while, there'd be a single car released for the showroom, you know, whether it was RRC or mostly gems.
Sure.
But, man, over the last, especially the last year, there's just been like a complete, just like onslaught of like cars, boom, 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 coming up, left, right, left, right, and it's so hard to keep track of them. There's so many out there, man. Like, oh, you think S-Class American? How many cars could there really be? 5, 6, 7? But there's got to be close to 20.
Sure. I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 17 down here, and there's probably more than that.
Right. I'm sure there's a few that are, you know, falling through the cracks that we haven't thought about, you know, like, I mean, I'm looking through here and let's see. Let's find an American. Let's find some more Americans. I mean, there's Plymouth's car, Plymouth Dawn's Roadrunner. I mean, I would have never thought of that. You know, well, the Viper GTS, we all would have thought of that. Now, what about that Universal Flip car? I don't know if that's eligible or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we can go back. There's
actually, let me see where I wrote that at.
I just don't know. I mean, there's the Ford RS 200 Race Edition. Ford, the Romans Anvil Mustang. Would have never thought of that one. Forgot about that one. That was a Fast and Furious car, obviously, but you know, but the Ford Falcon FG V8 supercar. Yep.
Yeah.
The list goes on. There's a ton here. So, I mean, that's great. So, let's get back to, I think we're all pretty set on S-Class. We can do a little recap later, but I think a lot of people are curious about the Player Summit. They want to know more. Let's get dirty here. Let's get gritty and grimy. Let's get down to business. So, Frank's here in the live chat. So, honestly, what were your thoughts on Frank? Be honest.
Dude, I love that dude. Man.
Oh, that's what we were telling me earlier, though. No, I'm just kidding.
right off the bat, when I met Frank at the hotel, it was like, you know, it was like, dude, he says, you're a beast, man. I'm glad I could finally get to meet you. And the best part with me and Frank is our flight leaving there left about the same time. So, and I had to leave a little bit earlier, but we got up and we hung out. Everyone else was gone, and we got to hang out together and just one-on-one. We went out and had a beer at 9 o'clock in the morning.
That's the way to do it.
Breakfast.
That's the way to do it.
With the hotel, we got to hang out there. And dude, as I'm leaving and getting through the line, going in my plane, I look over and there's Frank sitting right there in my waiting area.
Yep.
It was pretty cool, dude. Dude's awesome.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I want to talk. I can't wait. I got to get Frank on here. We'll have to figure out his schedule. I think we get him on here to chat about his experience at the Players Summit. I want to try to get everybody. The only person, you know, what's funny is, okay, so I know, I mean, as far as video game and racing rivals and Facebook. I know you. You know, I've never met you in person, but I met you plenty of times in game and Facebook. So there's you I'm familiar with. Frank I'm familiar with. Brian I'm definitely familiar with. I met him last time. Um, and yes, my brother just asked me, "Where's your beer? Raise a glass, bro. Cheers to you." I gotta say, I'm gonna be honest here. I know you caught me red-handed. I'm embarrassed to admit it. I'm drinking a water tonight. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Today's a water kind of day. I need one day, sometimes downtime, just rehydrate. So we're drinking water tonight. Yeah. So there's that. CJ. Talked to CJ a million times, whether it's here in the live chat on Facebook. Actually, CJ and his brother. It was an awesome story, but they actually way back on their YouTube channel, they did a video. They went to this. They got me these glasses back here. I don't know if you can see them, but there's a pair of glasses that you wear. They light up. I commented how cool they were. They're like, "We're gonna get you some," and I said, "Okay, whatever." And then I go on his channel, his YouTube channel, and they're like at this. It's like a video game, like arcade type place where you see the games. You win all the tickets and then you go and cash them in. Well, here they are playing these games, getting tickets to win me a pair of glasses. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I was like, that's the coolest thing that anybody's ever done. Like, really? That's awesome. So he did that, and that's when I think that was when I first met CJ. I mean, right around that time. So he's definitely a good dude, real good dude. Um, and the only other person I'm not familiar, and I don't want to. I started thinking about it. I mentioned it the last live stream I did, and I hope it didn't come off negative, but I was just saying he's the only one I'm not sure about. I just don't know who he is. I hear good things about him. What did you think? Is his name Jeff? No, I'm sorry. What's it's
Michael?
Jay
Dr.
Speed.
Daddy is Michael.
No, but Jay Speed.
It's CJ. Oh, his name's Jeff.
Okay, so there were two Jeffs there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Did that get a little confusing? Nah. You're like, nah, man, I'm the surreal, the real Jeff. No, but so how was he? Was he seemed pretty cool. Like
Beast, man.
it seemed like I was just you know, the thought of like going to a players summit. One of the things you want to be is somebody who's you don't have to be so outspoken, but somebody who's not going to shy up and quiet. When it's time to talk, it's time to talk. Let us know what you think. And it seemed like he had that going for him during the live stream.
Yeah, he definitely does. Very, very smart guy. A very, very fast person, dude. I mean, I watch this guy like Jim tune a car and then just go shatter the record with it in like a matter of 5 seconds.
Oh, excellent.
Just that fast. He's
all right.
Very, very good racer.
See, Frank says he's known Jay Speed for you. I'm the only one. Apparently, I'm the only one who doesn't know him. Huh.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, man.
Nice.
Very fast. He had a lot of good input, a lot of good questions.
Yeah.
It
So
was really cool that he had his car there, man, so we could like get in his car and go sometimes. It was nice.
Well, since I have you here and Frank the Tank is watching, give me some dirt on Frank. Tell me something about Frank.
Let's see. Frank can run on like 2 hours sleep and be completely functional and lively and have no problem.
All right, that's cool. Like I can run
Frank
on.
had a visitor in California. That's how cool that dude is. People came to see him at the hotel.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
I'll let Frank explain all that to you.
All right.
But
So
he had Frank come. We shot pool and hung out, and
yeah,
it was good times, man. We had really good times. Drinks were expensive at the hotel, but
I'm wondering
the whiskey that I got,
now I'm wondering
Yeah,
because
they poured it really thick, so it was good.
yeah,
Perfect.
you keep talking about this hotel and you were shooting pool, and I'm like, I wonder if that's the same place that we stayed at. It might
Oh
be.
yeah, I'm sure it was.
You
I'm
walk
sure it was.
in, and it's weird. It's all open. The bar is like way straight ahead and to the left. The bar or the pool table's right to your left hand side.
Yep, same place.
You check in over to the right hand side. You go forward, and then the hallway kind of zigs to the right and then zags.
Yep.
And then the elevators to your left. It must be the same place, yeah, because you're like we're talking. Because we did say we shot me and Lex Drama. We shot some pool. There was a few of us there. It's a nice swanky little joint there. But you're right.
Yeah, it was nice.
Drinks
man.
were
It
a
was
little
nice
expensive.
Yeah, they were.
So we'll have to get Frank on here. We'll get Frank on here. I wanna hear his point of view after. But right now, guys, Jeff Feasel on the hook with me, talking about the Players Summit in California, 2018 at the Carbonated Studios. So let's get back to the studio.
Sure.
So you go to the studio. So you fly in on a Wednesday. You go out. You hang out. You go to the studio Tuesday morning. So you're there all day Wednesday and most of the day Thursday, or all day Thursday.
All day Thursday.
Oh,
all day
so
Thursday. We left out Friday morning.
Oh wow! So you had 2 full days and 2 partials.
Yeah, two
Wow.
2.5. We left. We didn't go to the studio Friday. We basically woke up and left.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's cool because you had an extra day. We flew in. I don't recall what day it was, but we flew on whatever day we flew in. I got there. I was the first one there that day, but it was a partial day. Then the next day was a full day, and then we left early the day after. So we had 1 full day, but you had 2 full days. So you guys must have had well, there's a lot more, double the time. So a lot to do. You guys checked out. Did you actually? Now I'm going to ask questions, and obviously there's some things you can talk about, some you can't, and let you draw the line and make conclusions what you can and can't say. I'm just going to ask questions. I don't know what you can and can't, but did you get a chance? Did you play like 7.0? Was there a working version or a partial version or anything of that nature?
There was for Android. So we kind of had to share it. There's some people that were able to play it longer than I. I got to put my hands on it enough to check its awesomeness. But it's really broken still. It's not even ready for beta testing yet.
Okay.
They're probably getting close now. They've had a whole nother week, the weekend. But
all right.
I know that whenever we were there was talk about it being, some of the things being finished up. So
okay.
It's getting close.
So you pick up this Android device, and you can kind of, are there sections I'm guessing that you can play or check out or whatever?
Well, basically what they're wanting us to do now is just to, buy some cars, make sure that everything's matching what it says it's supposed to be matching, things like that. I mean, you can't actually go and race live because there's nobody else there. So, a lot of stuff is up and working, but you just can't use it yet. So, like I said, it's still really, really raw.
Sure. Expected at this point.
Sure.
I hope,
But these dudes are working hard, Joe. I mean, I'll tell you what, like, we'll get there at 9 and there's people there already. And we're leaving at 9:30 at night, and they're still there.
Oh, I know.
People don't understand it, man. These guys are doing. I mean, there's dudes that sleep there overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are doing everything they can to make this work, and it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot more than what I ever expected.
I know.
I thought it was, simply you get a license, you build a car, and it's done. No, it takes many, many man hours to make one car.
Yeah, I mean they make something. This right here in my hand right here, this, which is nothing, of course. There's nothing in my hands right now. People can see it. You can't, but they can. You take this, which is nothing, and you turn it into a video game. I mean, it's all from scratch. And just when you think you have something, you break it down again and rebuild it because there's an issue, or you found something you did wrong, or there's a better way to do it. So you break it all down, and then you try to build it up again, and then and it's just a back and forth, effort to take this thing that you've made out of nothing and perfect it, polish it. And,
Yeah. Well, and then, some of the manufacturers, well, we don't really like it like that. Do this.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, you got to start all over.
Yes.
Or, just add to or take away from. But, did you get to meet Travis? Travis is the main guy. He started Carbonated.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he was there.
Okay. Well, Travis gave me an analogy one night when we were having dinner, and it was basically like, and I can share this with you, I'm sure.
Okay.
Like when they took over, and they were going to try to do some stuff and fix some things that that we as the players were talking about that needed fixed. So they go in, they start looking, and as he says, it's like you have a house, and you're going to build onto the house. So you take away a little bit, and you add stuff to it. Well, you find out that these boards are rotted. I need to replace them first. So then you take off what you've already started, and you replace the boards, and then you build back up what you start. Oh wow, well this isn't so good. Now the foundation is really weak, and now you got to take off both things you've already done, and you got to start from ground one. So that when he was telling me that, I'm like, wow, really? And he's like, yeah. He says it's just everything they did was poor. So when they try to add to or make the game better by doing something else, they never really left any space to do that. It was
and then
just straight up junk. So
to top it off, and I know this is a weird analogy, but since you're talking about like you have a house and you put the boards in and this and that, so you get to the point where you're like, all right, we're going to put the siding on the house. And I know this is a weird analogy, but you put the siding on the house. Now, for whatever odd reason, that siding on the house doesn't work well with the carpet in the bedroom. You can't figure out why the siding is affecting the carpet, but somehow it is. So you have a choice. Tear down the siding and put different siding up, or take the carpet out of the bedroom. Now, say you take the carpet out of the bedroom, you put tile down. Now, that tile may work with the siding, but now that tile doesn't work with the fixture in the kitchen. It's doing something weird there. And I know this is a weird analogy, but when it comes to a video game, that's what it is. There's just one little thing. You have picture a watch with a million gears, and you change one gear. It may work fine. It may affect something else completely unrelated. And that's exactly what it is, man. And it's like you have a boat, and you have one little leak in the front, on the hull. You put your finger in there to plug it, and now all of a sudden you have a leak in the back where you didn't have one before. Now you reach over and you're putting your hand and plugging that one. And all of a sudden on the other side, there's a leak, so it's just like, it's a constant, struggle trying to figure out what's causing these problems, how to fix it, what's the best way, what's the quickest way. We got to do this. Let's get going. Basically, Frank has a great analogy right here in the live chat. He says they work harder than a cucumber in a female prison. I don't know what that means, Frank, but I don't know what that means. I'll be honest. I don't know what that means, but it's a pretty good analogy. Funny. So, all right, let's get back to our turf guide, our class, American, and we'll breeze through this because honestly, there's a million R-class cars that are eligible for American turf. This week, turf. So we'll get to it, and then we'll get back to more Player Summit with my man, Jeff Fiesel. All right, Jeff, take it away.
Well, for a while there was a bunch of R-class turf cars.
Yeah.
And I mean a bunch of them. And we are chock full of R-class turf cars.
Yeah.
That will be eligible for this event. class as one of the main cars that will be used.
Mhm.
Maybe two of the main cars that will be used is this 1968 Dodge Charger Street Edition. Those things were in crates and were given out like crazy. Everybody has a bunch. I think I have like 10 or 15 or something like that that I'm getting ready to tune up for this event.
Which crates were those eligible in? Was that?
I believe they came out of like turf crates a while back.
Okay.
I can't remember.
See, I'm gonna say
what I'm talking about is that it came and had the red mat, and then now they got the blue ones with the white stripes on the tail.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know which one. I just can't remember the origin of it. Which, if we had a Cardex, we would know where that car came from. So, all right. So that car, you think you're going to see 1 million of those out, which will be?
I'm pretty sure those will be heavy.
Okay.
The SRT Viper GTSR.
Mm-hmm.
That was it used to be a car that was in the campaign, and you used to be able to pink it.
Yeah.
So the farmers had a gazillion of them.
Mm-hmm.
And those will be pretty heavy, I'm sure. But there's guys out there that are going to be pinking their turf cars. There's no doubt in my mind.
Sure they will. It's funny. Daniel mentioned the other day, like they were having a lot of these D class, C class, A class events because they figured, a lot of people want to hold on to their cars because it adds value to your garage when 7.0 eventually goes live. So they figured a lot of people are going to want to hold on to these cars, so they're going to have D class and C class and all these lower class, events. But that's not the way it works out, man. Racing Rivals has a lot of crazy, crazy players that will do nothing but pink. They just want to pink nonstop. So even at a time like this where you're like, yeah, I'm going to hold on to these cars because if I lose it, I'll never have it again. No, we want to pink these cars. We want to get out there and race. So as promised, Daniel said, hey, we'll have some higher class car events coming up. And sure enough, here we are. S-Class and R-Class. So, yeah, we're jumping right into it, man. Hit the ground running.
There's a lot of people that have one car that they're really good in, as far as the turf cars that they'll be using.
Mm-hmm.
The AMC Javelin Race Edition.
Yes.
That was also in some crates. I don't remember what it was in, but we got plenty of those in the game now.
Mm-hmm.
And we had an event a while back, and there was plenty of those that were that were already in the game. There was a lot of people using those. The 1970 Chevy 70 Camaro RE.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Those guys, a lot of people, that's a ghost ship car. A lot of people use that in 5.6 and 6.3. The Pontiac Firebird Street Edition. I mean, there's so many cars. The 2012 Ford Mustang Rivals Edition. There's tons of those. I think they came in the bronze crates now.
Yeah, there's
turf crates.
There's gonna say the Mustang Race Edition. That was a turf car. That was.
Well, there's several of those. In 1993, that's the Fox body, the Mustang Race Edition.
Yep, that was the old one. That was, I think, the first one. Then there's there's a newer version, newer body style. But there's probably 2 or 3 versions of that, whether it was a turf car. I think I might be mistaken. No, they had one. It was, I believe there was some in the WWE crates, right?
Yeah, that's the same one. That's the 2012.
Yeah.
They have them right now, too, in another one that I just picked up another one. I think it's like 5 blueprints to get it. And it's like you get like 2 every time. I don't know if it's turf crates or bronze crates. Without looking, but I know that it's a steady flow of them.
I see we have a visitor here in the live chat. It is the Dirty Hammer.
my man.
There he is. We're going to get him on here soon. I want to hear his stories because I'm sure he's got stories and all sorts of things to talk about that he's seen and heard about the game that he wants to share. But right now I'm here with my man Jeff Fiesel, a.k.a. Surreal, doing our Turf Guide thing. And once again, we're going to breeze right through the 30 event R-Class American. There's a lot of cars eligible. We're going to breeze through those for you because I think a lot of people are familiar with it, and there's a ton of cars out there. And then we're going to get back to this Player Summit deal because we've got a lot of unanswered questions and some stories that I'm sure people want to hear. That's right, Frank, the Dirty Hammer in the house. And I knew it. I knew he was going to get too big. He says, nope, I'm too big of a celebrity to be on your show. I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. I knew
right there, that comment, that's the Dirty Hammer all day.
Yep.
All day long, day, night, wake up, he's just the same way.
Yep.
It's amazing. Dude's awesome.
So, well, since the Dirty Hammer is too big to be on the show, he just won't be here, I guess. Nah, he's a good guy. He'll be on. I'm sure we'll get our schedule worked out. We'll figure out a day he can come in. Frank, Brian, maybe even Jay Speed. If I ever get a chance to talk to him, I don't know.
Yeah, I can introduce you to him, Joe. It'd be no problem.
Yeah, I'd like to hear the point of view from all of the Player Summit attendees from the community because you guys do a lot for the community as well. I mean, look at you. You're here every Sunday with me. You run a team. You are on a ton of Facebook groups. You're always doing something that's, helping the community out. The list goes on and on and on. So, a lot of people want to hear what you have to say and all that good stuff. And that's what I plan on doing, getting your voice out there.
That was really awesome, too, because when we first got there, and, we just kind of were sitting there. I think there was a pause or something. We're all just kind of sitting there racing or playing with our phone. And
yeah.
I think it was Jeff that said, wow, it might have been CJ, look, we got these guys run a team. We got guys that, like Jay Speed, who's a tuner and is a beast, and then CJ's a beast, and then you got Sesko, who's constantly selling something.
Yeah.
It was a perfect mix, and Daniel did a really good job taking us out. And we all meshed really well right off the bat. And, there was nothing but fun and excitement the whole time. Nobody was mad at anybody. Nobody had any bad blood. It was...
Nope, no bad blood?
Nope, not one time.
Nice. See, that's what I like. I mean, we're all competitive guys. We like playing the game, and we're here for pinks, and you guys, if we see each other on the track, people, we will race for pinks and money all day long and just cutthroat, competition. But put us in a room and all together in person, and what happens, man, you kind of gel, you just jive, no problems. That's what I love. That's what I love about this community.
No, Edward, carbonated and glue are two different entities.
Yeah, actually, it's funny, not funny, but the glue studios in Long Beach, California, I don't even think are there anymore. They shut them down and moved everybody out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks because, it's just a cutthroat industry, obviously, and that's one of the reasons why Carbonated had to make such drastic changes to the game because they didn't want to be in the same boat that glue is in.
Right. And they, like I say, and I'll say it over and over and over, man, they're working very, very hard to make sure this works good. And, if it takes them a little bit longer before they release it, then it's all for the better.
I tell you,
you don't want it coming out broken, that's for sure.
I'm all about that because I'm telling you, over the years, Glue, CIA, they put out a handful of big updates. Obviously, this is 7.0. This is Carbonated's first large, big, update. Glue put out 6.0, which I'm telling you, man, it killed the game, really. It was an incomplete update. It ruined the game for the most part in a lot of aspects. And over the years, we've seen a lot of updates that have done the same, and the game has just gone downhill, downhill, downhill each and every time an updates come out. So I'm all about, Carbonated taking their time, working this out, thinking it through. These are some big changes they're putting into the game. So, you really have to think things through. You have to make sure you have your I's dotted and your T's crossed here, and everything is, where it needs to be. And I'd rather them take their time to put out this update, to put out a complete and well-oiled update, rather than do what has happened in the past and push something through quickly that isn't all that good and really puts the game in a worse place than it was before. So I'm all about them taking the time if need be. If they have it out, they're confident that it's ready tomorrow, put it out. If it's not, take your time, work out the bugs. There's no rush. And well, there is a little bit, but put it out there and make it as good as you really can with what you have.
Yeah. It's gonna be way different, and there's a lot of people that are like rah rah, what they don't really know, what's going on. I had watched their videos over and over and over, trying to educate myself as much as I could.
Yes.
And then when I go there and I see it, on the screen, it's like, oh well, how the hell did I miss that?
Yeah.
And wow, that's way different than what I thought, and. It's, I don't know about that. We talk about it, and then they explain it, and you're like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense now. Then, okay, so it's a lot to take in, and they crunched it. I mean, they pushed the content on us. And I was taking notes. I got a notebook, a bunch of notes, just so that I could remember.
Yeah.
Because it was so much going on.
I'm telling you, yeah. I wish I would have taken a notebook and wrote down some notes, because I'm telling you, some of the stuff that we talked about that, there's so much information flying back and forth. It was just like a brainstorming session, ideas, this, that, and like you think of something, you're like, Dan, yeah, and then you get sidetracked, and then you forget about this idea. Then you're like, oh, you hear something down the way that somebody says, it sparks your memory, and you go, oh yeah, I almost forgot about that.
There was one thing that I wanted to talk about, and it never got brought up, and it never got talked about, and I still don't have answers for it. And I don't think they're going to let us know how they're going to do it. But I was wanting to know how they're going to value our garages. Like, is a top 1 or a top 5 car, with the wrap and the wheels, is it worth more than a top 75 with really nice paint and really rare wheels?
Yeah.
Are they the same amount? Does it even matter? Or is it just the amount of cars you have? Or is it the rarity of the car? Or
it's got to be a formula, somehow,
Something, yeah.
I don't know.
Figure it out, but like I said, I don't know that they'll even tell us that.
Yeah.
How they're going to do it that way is, you don't have people
trying to exploit
trying to get a certain car in their garage or something that's maybe rare. Or
I'm gonna backtrack just a little bit. Like the live chat is crazy. You guys are freaking funny. Because you got Frank the Tank saying the upgrade will be awesome, Joe. You got Dirty Hammer. I like turtles. Frank the Tank says I like whiskey. Dirty Hammer puts a little a little turdy icon, a turtle. And Dirty Hammer, he says, hey, you just like alcohol. It's tada. So I like chicken. Dirty Hammer says, you are a chicken. Don't you dare ask for a bite. And then you got Edward. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, turn those video notifications on so you never miss a video. Dirty Hammer back says, can never just have one bite. And then we got this guy here, Jose Rodriguez. He says, "What's up, Pigpen?" He says, "First time on your live chat." Well, Jose Rodriguez, my man, welcome to the live chat. That's awesome that you're here for your first time. Give him a shout out. Appreciate that very much. Uh, Frank Dollars the Pesos. Street cred to what? X Flair in the house. Greetings. Greetings and salutations, X Flair. We're here with my man, Jeff Fiesel, just back from the Carbonated Players Summit in El Segundo, California, at the studios, talking about 7.0 update, which I'm hearing now from a handful of people that it's going to be awesome. Now, I know a lot of us already see the awesomeness as it's coming down the pipelines from the information we're getting, but to actually hear it from some people who have the inside scoop, Jeff being one of them, he's saying it's awesome. There's a lot of work going behind the scene, which I don't doubt. I know from my experience from when I was out there, there is a lot of work, tons of work going on behind the scenes. I remember one night we had the Players Summit, okay? We were there, and not only did they cater to us all day long, you know, we had a live stream, we had meeting after meeting after meeting after lunch after meeting after meeting after take a breather. Nope, no breather. Sorry, we're going back to a meeting, you know. And then after it was all done, at the end of the night, it must have been 10, 11 o'clock, they still hung out for a few more hours as we sat there and raced and wound down a little bit. Like one of the Fast and Furious movies was on the screen over there. We were watching that. We were all racing. We were talking racing rivals. We were kind of broken down into our little groups at that point in time. And what happened? A couple of the guys went to the back there, picked up a couple of laptops and started working, and they worked until like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, and maybe got a few hours. They slept there. They slept right there, got a few hours of sleep, and they were back up working by the time we got up and went back to the studio in the morning. So there's a lot. I mean, they're just madmen. They really are. They're, you know, they're dedicated to it. You know, so
especially like the engineers. When the engineers got something going on in their mind,
yes,
they can't stop. As
right.
soon as they stop, they'll lose all that. So
yeah,
they continue to go and go and go, and oh wow, it's just amazing. And like Nate had his birthday, and we went out for dinner.
Yep.
And came back, and he's got balloons and stuff in his office, and he's still working. It's 9:30, going on 10 o'clock, and dude is still there working on his birthday.
Yeah.
Been there all day.
So I see comment in chat here, and I'm not quite sure. I shouldn't even have to address it, but I'm going to. Question here, Pigpen, can you just tell me, will there be pink slips in 7.0? Now, I don't want to say that's a silly question, but I guess I just want to answer it. Absolutely. I mean, I don't have an inside scoop on it, but I'm pretty damn sure there's going to be pink slips. I mean, we have pink slip vouchers for turf. They're cutting it down to, you know, but yeah, there's definitely going to be pink slips. I mean, I don't think Racing Rivals would be Racing Rivals without pink slips. So I don't think you have to worry there, buddy. We're going to have pink slips.
Yeah. There'll be live events where you can race for pinks.
Yes.
There'll be plenty of pinks all over. You know, at turf you have pink vouchers. You can win pink so many times.
Right.
If you lose those vouchers. If you know you're still racing, somebody races you, you can still pink.
Yeah.
But the live events, you can pink. I mean, have at it.
See, I'm gonna be completely honest here, because I don't know exactly how everything's gonna exactly unfold. But as far as the pink slip vouchers, I gotta say, 100% honest, I'm still on the fence here, 50-50. I don't know how it's going to work out. I don't know how it's going to play out. I'm trying to break it down and have like I'm trying to run through all the scenarios, and I'm still, honestly, man, I'm on the fence about it. Like, I see some good things coming about. I see some bad things coming about. And I just don't know how it's going to play
it's
out.
one of those deals where, let me see how I can say this and not get myself in trouble.
Sure.
Let's just say that when 7-0 comes,
yeah,
this is the way it's going to be.
Okay.
If it doesn't work, there's always 7.1.
Okay. So, yeah, well, that's the thing, too, is we have to realize that as permanent as things are, nothing is really ever permanent. It's a video game. It can be changed, right?
Exactly.
So
if it can be thought of, it can be done. That's what they tell you.
Frank he says it'll level the playing field for new racers, Joe, and I understand that. Here's my concern. And I know we can break it down and talk about this for hours, so I'm not going to really get too detailed about it. But my big draw to the game when I first started playing was pink slips. Okay, so I would jump into a lobby, whether it was turf, we'll use turf because that's where the new change is going to be. So you're in turf, and I just love racing for pinks. Now, I know at the beginning of the game, 7.0, we're not going to have a huge garage. So I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. There's not too many cars. We're going to have to be building our garages up. And once turf hits, maybe I will have enough cars where I could pink slip 10 times. And if I lose 10 times and I lose 10 cars, it's maybe a big deal, maybe not a big deal. I just don't know. But I'm afraid of this. Like, that's the thing is, like I said, I love pink slips. And I know there's other people out there that are a big fan of pink slipping. And the fear is after that 10th loss, because let's be honest, how many cars have you lost on your account, you and the Dirty Hammer?
CJ, like 12,000.
12,000 cars. And that's, you're not exaggerating. You guys looked that up when you were in California, right? You could look at and see that. So you guys have lost. 12,000 plus cars. Now, obviously, you've won a crap ton more than that. So, but here's the thing is, so let's not hide the fact we all lose cars. I lose cars, you lose cars, CJ loses cars. Frank the Tank may lose a few here and there. He's pretty pro, but he may lose a few from time to time. So the fact is we're going to be losing cars. And my fear is that I'm going to lose 10 cars and you're going to lose 10 cars. And what's going to happen after we lose that 10th car? Now, yes, you can still race. You can still throw out, challenges for money and lure people in to challenge you for pinks and you can race. But my fear is at that point in time, you lose a little bit of that interest in the game until you get those pink slips back. And my fear is when you lose that interest, what do? I hope you don't put the game down because you're just like, well, I'll just wait till next event when I can start turfing and racing for pinks again. That's my fear. Now, I don't think it's going to be a huge issue at first because we're not going to have too many cars. So I don't know, man. Maybe 10 pink slips will be plenty.
The difference is let's just say, and I'll throw CJ under the bus here.
Oh, I love it. Throw him right under that bus. Hey, did anybody catch the number of that bus that just ran CJ over?
Say he's got 25 cars.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's good at it. He's been practicing. He jumps in the car and he gets paired up with somebody better, or maybe he's a little fresher, and CJ starts losing. Boom, 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 boom. He's losing these cars left and right.
Yeah.
Let's just say that he goes through his 10 peak vouchers in the first hour. Okay. Now he can free race or wait for somebody else to race him. Or if he won quite a few of those while he was pinking, and he might have a certain amount of points or whatever that we won't know what those are going to look like yet. He can simply stop and go back and go to do a live event. He can go do the Tuner Challenge.
Yeah, but turf is
mess
where
around
it's
with
at.
it.
Like, imagine you're racing for you're racing your team. Your team. You're like, hey, let's go for LA. Push, 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 guys. And then one of your members, you know, your team members, runs out of pinks, and then he's out, and you see him. He's online, and he's over in Tuner Challenge World or something. And you're like, whoa, what are you doing, dude? We got turf here. Turf time, MF. What
Yeah,
are you
but
doing
the thing
there?
is, you know, turf, as we know it, is going to be different.
Absolutely.
It's 6.5 and 7.0.
Mm-hmm.
There's 6 cities going at once. I mean, you may race a whole weekend. Your team could race a whole weekend.
Sure.
And the most points your team gets is 180K.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to think of it like that. It's a lot different. I mean, they're going to have events probably that, you know, might be like we have now. Let's just say it's A class, USA, 1635 lobby.
Yep.
Points are 20 points for free race and 100 points for a crush.
Okay.
You're not going to make a bunch of points that way.
No.
And
So,
not only that, but it's taking you 12 seconds to run that race or longer.
so okay. Well,
I mean, I'm just saying.
No,
That
no.
could happen.
I'm just running through different scenarios. So here's two thoughts. Say they come down and it comes down to, and they're like, yeah, man, yeah, maybe this isn't exactly what it is. Or maybe it comes down and it's really not a big deal. Like, I'm making a big deal out of it and everybody else is making a big deal. When it comes down to it, it actually is a pretty smooth working system. But say the opposite happens and they want to make some changes. Here's some changes that I may suggest. So say you're out of your 10 pink slips. Found a way, like in turf, you're racing. For every race you win, you gain 1/10 of a pink slip ticket back. So for every 10 races you win, you get 1 pink slip ticket back. So that ensures you're going to keep racing because A, you want your pink slips back. You want at least 1 back instead of just quitting and waiting to the next event. So now you're racing regular races. You're winning. And for every 10 races, you get 1 pink slip back. So that's one option. That would keep people in the lobbies. That would keep people racing furiously to get a pink slip vouch back. So then they can challenge one more person, at least one more person to pinks. Or a way that you could actually buy tickets back, whether it's with gems or you know, through other events even. You know, you jump into Tuner Challenge and somehow, you know, I don't know the details, but just a couple of different ways to win pink slip vouchers back. So.
Well, and here's the thing with the way that they're setting everything up now, because they basically have to start over. And when we were doing our analogies, you know, let's just say and hypothetically say that, you know, okay, it's 10 pink slip vouchers and it's really not working. Okay, and they just stop racing. Nobody's happy. Let's go ahead and bump it up to say 15 or 20.
Sure.
Well, in the old system, you're gonna have to shut everything down and redo this or redo that.
Yeah.
If they want to do anything, if they want to add anything to this new system, it's a click of a button.
Guys, don't listen to Ernest. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's telling everybody 7.0 is coming out in 2 hours. Full of crap. I know he's messing with everybody. It is definitely not coming out in 2 hours. So don't listen to Ernest. He's full of it.
Yeah, I mean, now they have it where if they want to make changes, they can do it really, really quickly. And it won't screw anything else up.
See, that's one of the reasons why they had to rebuild the system. So.
Exactly. I mean, if they want to add crates for something, simple. They want to give you more paint in a crate, they can do that. They want to do whatever they want. And it's a lot faster, but it's just taking time to get to where they're able to do those things, and it's gonna be really nice. Like I said, from what we've seen and what we got going on, I think it's gonna be just fine. So.
Awesome. So all right, let's do a real quick recap of the turf events. We'll run through a list of the cars pretty quick. just for those people who may need a refresher, and then we'll get back to some more Player Summit with my man Jeff Beasel, aka Surreal. We got Frank the Tank in the live chat right now, giving gut punches to people who are acting up. Gut punch, right kidney shot. That's what happened right there. That's what Frank did. Don't mess with Frank the Tank. He'll gut you. So, A-class American cars. Let's do a real quick rundown. We've had a lot of A-class cars events lately, so I don't think we need to go too much detail with that. But there's a lot of Mustangs. There's some Chevy, Camaros, A-class cars. Let's get to the list, Jeff. Let's run it through real quick.
The new car, which I'm about to go buy when we get off here, is the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. I've seen a couple of those, and I gotta have one. Those are kind of fast.
There they are.
The 2014 Chevy Stingray.
Yep.
2014 Camaro Z28.
Yep.
The 2016 and the 2010 Camaro SS. The 2010 Camaro SS is in the performance crates this week.
Yep.
Probably see a lot of those, and they can definitely hold their own. Let's see. We got the 2007 Chevrolet Corvette. The 2013 Ford Falcon FG V8.
Yep.
I seen a couple of these 2012 Ford Shelby GT 500 coupes.
Those, yeah. I love those.
The 1970 Torino Cobra R. And last week, I believe that 2009 Dodge Challenger SRT8 was in performance crates, and I've seen a handful of those.
And that'll be eligible as well. That one's you got to be careful with that one with the performance parts.
Yep. Especially in lower lobbies.
Yep.
So I think it only maxes out now at 66 with performance parts, but you put full carbon on one and tune it to 56 or 63, and it's fast.
Yep. And people can sandbag, and you think you got this one locked down, and next thing you know, you're getting the doors blown off. Yeah. All right. So
one more car that I need to get tuned, and I still have. I've been trying to win one. I think I have one, but I don't have a tune. Is the 1972 Ford Falcon GT Street Edition. That car is very, very fast.
All right. So I don't know. That's a different name. I don't want to say it's anyways, there's all right, sorry. I'm looking in live chat, and I know this is real quick, but he's like, can you clarify what legacy garages will be? I'm confused on that. It's a very simple concept. Basically, all the cars in your garage right now, as long as they are there when 7.0 drops, that's your legacy garage. Simple explanation right there. Okay, so now let's move up to S-Class American. Now, the one car that I think I'm going to be racing. Oh, we almost forgot the Z28.
Oh, no, I mentioned that.
Did you? Okay, I must have slipped by my.
That car's hot.
Yeah, I know. As soon as I said.
That car is, I used that all weekend.
Yeah. The car, I was just thinking of a car here for S-Class American, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, I totally forgot about the Chevy, the Z20, the Z28 Camaro, but we did mention it. So now we're talking about S-Class American and the ZR1. The S-Class Chevy ZR1 is probably going to be the car I'm going to be racing at least for a while. I'm going to try to get a few more of those before turf ends. I really like that car. It has a few performance parts. You won't see too many. I think were those in performance crates?
They were all fiberglass.
Yeah.
The ZR1 is fiberglass.
It was one
And,
fiberglass part per week, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Not a lot of people have them.
I was gonna say you're not gonna have to worry too much. Uh, they will be out there. You'll have a few that are gonna be blowing the doors off of people, but it's not gonna be an overwhelming problem. You're gonna have, I'll say, for every 10 races, one of them might have performance parts. And chances are they're not going to be pinking them because they're not going to want a chance losing them. Foul it out, and it's gone for good. So I don't think you're going to have to worry too much there. So the Z20, the ZR1 is where I'm going to be. You'll find me in a lobby in one of my secret accounts racing for that. For those cars, rather. What else do we have? What else for the S-Class American? My man, Jeff, take it away.
Yep, the 2012 Chevy Copo.
Yeah.
And then we have the 2013 Ford Mustang Cobra Jets and the Cobra Claws.
Okay.
That we got for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't see too many of those.
Yeah, I'm building mine right now. I'm see if they're any faster than the regular jets.
Yeah.
2006 Ford GT, like the oldest S-Class in the game.
Yep.
The 2012 SRT Viper GTS.
Well, that Ford, we got to mention too, that Ford GT, the oldest one in the game, that has fiberglass parts as well.
It does.
Once again, it'll be very similar to the ZR1. They'll be out there, but I don't think you're really going to have to worry much about those. It's just not going to be a big issue, I don't think. So worth noting, but not worth worrying about. So, okay.
Right. The Dodge Viper ACRX.
And
that's a gym car. There were several of those that were also handed out in turf.
I just want to slap the dirty hammer. Can I just slap the dirty hammer? You know what he says right there in the live chat? Jets, as in the Cobra Jet. I hope if he's talking about the football team, the Jets, he really deserves a slap. But no, no. But the Jets, the Chevy Cobra Jet. Everybody and their brother has about 50 of them. So you got those will be out there. I'm sure you'll see a lot of those.
Yeah, they'll be in 6-8 lobby trying to bully everybody else.
Yeah, they're wicked fast in that lobby. Probably one of the fastest. And I'm sure there's a few out there now, different cars that have been released. But for a while, that 68 lobby was owned by the Cobra Jet. No doubt. So, all right. Okay, Dirty Hammer says Chevy. So we'll let it slide. If he was talking about the New York Jets football team, I would not have let that one slide, but all right. So what's up, Ivan? Mr. Banana here. He was the first one here, and he is still here. What is up? Okay, so there's a few more S-Class American cars, and then we're going to just fire off left and right R-Class cars because there's a million of them, and then we're going to get right back. Just a few more questions for Jeff Feasel. I want to know a little bit more about the Players Summit. What went down? What did you see? What did you like? What did you not like? So let's get to it, Jeff. R-Class.
R-Class, we got, I'm not going to do dates of them. I'm just going to read them all here.
Sure, let's just rapid fire. Let's get to it.
Yeah. Mercury Cougar Eliminator.
You said
the
Cougar.
AMC Rambler 6-Wagon HR.
Yep.
Dom's Dodge Daytona Charger.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Pontiac Firebird Street Edition.
Okay.
The Ford Mustang Rivals Edition. Now, some of these I should probably do the dates on the year on them because they have the same name but different years. So
yes.
Nevertheless. Turf Cars 2002 Pontiac Firebird RE. The Dodge Challenger GT2. Chevy 70 Camaro RE, Dodge Coronet HR, AMC Javelin Race Edition, Chevy Chevelle Race Edition, the 1993 Ford Mustang Race Edition.
Jeff, I'm trying to keep a straight face here. I'm reading the live chat. We'll talk about that in just a moment, but let's get through R-Class real quick. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
2002 or 2005 Dodge Neon SRT RE,
uh-huh.
1997 Plymouth Barracuda Rivals Edition,
Yep.
the 1960 AMC Metropolitan HR, 1966 Plymouth Belvedere HR, 1970 Mustang Rivals Edition. You had mentioned this car earlier. I have it here on the back of this page. It's 2018 Dodge SRT Demon.
The Demon. Now that was that a fast? That was a Fast and Furious car, right?
Yeah. No, I don't think it was.
Where did I get that car? Was it? No.
But then we got the one Demon that was released. I think they were both released right around Halloween. So we got the one with the fire on it, and then.
No, see, I don't have that one with the front. It looks like the grill in the front is what, bloody or something.
It's fire actually.
Is it fire?
That's the other one I have.
Okay,
I
so
didn't get the one from the showroom.
no, see, I don't have that one. I got the other one, but I don't think I got it from. I don't think it was from the showroom, man. Maybe it was. I just can't remember. I'm gonna have to check my Cardex for that. So anyways.
1970 Dodge Charger Race Edition. 1963 Chevy Corvette RE. 1980 Dodge Miranda 440 RE. 1967 Mustang Street Edition. 1980 AMC Pacer RE. 2006 Ford Mustang Cobra Jet, R-Class Cobra Jet.
Yes.
1969 Chevy Camaro Rivals Edition. 1964 Pontiac GTO with the little bitty wheels. 1991 GMC Cyclone Race Edition pickup truck.
Yeah. So
and that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah, the Corvette DP, that's not eligible. That's an R2 class car.
This dude's an idiot.
The RX-7 Race Edition is not American. That's going to be JDM. But hey, we're talking USA R class. So there we go, guys. We've gone through pretty much, I would say 90-95% of the cars. We probably missed a few here and there, some turf cars or something of that nature. But for the most part, the cars you heard, those are the cars that are going to be eligible. And, you know, you'll see me out there in the ZR1. You'll see me out there in the Z28 during A class, R class. I'm on the fence, not quite sure, still trying to make my mind up. I might use some of those Cobra Jets up that I have. We'll see.
There you go.
We'll see. But nonetheless, a lot of options this turf, a lot of good options, a lot of exciting options. I'm glad we're.
You'll see a lot of nice cars because a lot of people are using up their inventory.
Yes, and
so there'll be a lot of nice wheels, a lot of nice paint.
Yep, and I'm glad to see that because I'm tired of D class and C class and G class and whatever other low classes cars are out there. But you know, even A class, I'm kind of getting tired of. But you know, the Z28, how can you get tired of that? That's my go-to A class car if it's eligible. So, but D class and C class, boring.
Roll says he's going to free race all weekend. He says he's ready, no problem.
Who said that? Roll right there. Yeah, whole weekend free racers. Jeff, ready, no problem. All right, there we go. Dodge Demon, you forgot about that. Did we?
Who is this dude? I'm about to time him out myself.
I don't believe we forgot about the Dodge Demon there, sir. But anyways, let's get back to Players Summit. Now, we've talked about things you have liked. How about some of the things you didn't like? Now, I'm thinking this one's gonna disagree because Dirty Hammer said you didn't like the fact that when he walked into your room, he says he didn't like me walking into his room naked asking for toilet paper. Now, I'm going to disagree, and I'm going to say you liked that. No?
Well, that never happened. So
I don't know about that.
If it did, I'd probably throw him on the bed. And now, you know.
Wait, what?
Put him in a full Nelson.
Is that what they're calling it these days? Is that what the kids call it? So,
It was kind of weird though because his room was like just down a ways from mine. It's like I think it was like 311. I was 307.
okay.
But I went to bed, man. Dude, these kids are way too young, man. They were like, have another drink. I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Dude, I'm getting that way. So there's some days I go out, man. I'm like, I can barely keep my eyes open, and I'm like, dude, it's getting late. And I look at my phone, and it's like 9 o'clock, and I'm like, oh my god. And I felt like, especially with the time change to travel, when I went out to California, I had the same thing, man. I was just like, it was 9 o'clock their time, but my time it was like 1, or 12 or whatever it was. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I could hardly keep my eyes open. I don't want to crash because, when am I going to have a chance to do this again? I'm not. So I didn't want to crash, but man, I felt like it. I was like, geez. So there was, okay, you didn't like that, him busted into your room, butt naked, asking for toilet paper. But other than that, so what are some of the other things you saw, you guys talked about that you can talk about that you think people are really going to be interested in or really excited about that they might not even know about right now, or maybe has been under the radar for starters?
There's a lot that I can't say yet.
Sure.
It's really they're really gonna be like, whoa, I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
If you watched the last live stream that they had and you heard what Colby had asked me, and I gave it 2 thumbs up, that's something that's going to be very, very nice for everybody. And basically his question to me was, without saying, any more about it, was about repairing cars and tuning cars.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked what I thought about that, and I gave 2 thumbs up. And that's something that I can't talk about. But it's everyone's gonna be like, whoa.
Okay.
Oh man, that's awesome.
So now I know you can't talk about it. I don't know what you're talking about. So based on I'm just going to start throwing. It's got to be some sort of change that's going on with the upgrade and repair, and something's going to happen, obviously. So if everybody's going to be happy about it, either times are going to be decreased or removed altogether, or some big change, obviously. So guys, I guess we're just going to have to just stick around. I don't know if they have any plans on letting us know anytime soon. That I'm going to be keeping my ears open for during some of the live streams, which they're going to have another one this Wednesday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And of course, right afterwards, guys, as soon as they're done, I'll fire up my live stream. I'll get some guests together. We'll hang out, we'll talk, and join me right here on my channel for another live stream right after Carbonated. We'll talk about everything they've talked about. We'll talk about how it affects us as players. We'll talk about it from our point of view, and we'll speculate and draw conclusions just the way gamers like us do. So don't forget to join me. So you guys had basically, we're going to start winding down. It's almost 11 o'clock here. And Dude asked earlier if I was tired or if I was under the influence. I am not under the influence of anything except for extreme exhaustion. So I would love, honestly, I would love to live stream a little bit later. But, I was telling Jeff I had dinner. I made some homemade beef soup, some beef and barley soup, which was amazing. I filled myself up and I laid down on the couch and I was out like a switch. And then I woke up at like 8:45 going, holy shit, I got a live stream. So I sent Jeff a message. I said, hey, I'm running just a few minutes behind. I threw a thumbnail together, got my live streaming together, and about 9:15 we were on. So didn't do too bad there, but needless to say, guys, I'm so tired. And we're going to wrap this live stream up, and I'm sure we'll have Jeff on again in the next, at least next Monday, if not sooner, to talk more about the Players Summit out there in California. Frank's here in the live stream. I'm going to get his ass on here. Dirty Hammer's here. We're going to get his ass on here. I know Brian can't wait to get on here, so I'm going to get him on here as well. I'm going to probably have to start doing some extra live streams because typically I've been doing one on Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. But I'm going to have to do a few more to get some of these player council members on and get their opinions and views on the summit. Today we're with Jeff Fiesel, aka Surreal, who attended the player summit. Maybe tomorrow Frank will get on here, or maybe Dirty Hammer. He says, nope, I'm too popular. Oh, hold on. Here's one for you, Dirty Hammer. Here's one for you. There you go. Right for you, Dirty Hammer. Nah, we'll get his ass on here. He's playing tough. He'll be on here. We're going to get Dirty Hammer on here. So, yeah, there you go. Here's another one. Right there for you, Dirty Hammer. Now, but we'll get Dirty Hammer. We'll get Frank the Tank, Brian, and maybe if you could introduce me to J Speed. I don't know if he has any interest in live streaming with me, but I'll definitely ask him. No doubt, no need to be shy. I'll ask him. So we'll see if we can get him on here. And I want to get everybody's opinions. I want to hear all these different stories, different things you guys seen. I'm sure you, what were some of the things you suggested? Because one of the things you'd like to do at the Players Summit, take suggestions and bring in all the input they can so they can make an educated choice as far as, direction of the game. So what kind of choice, what kind of input did you kind of tell them? What did you mention?
I didn't really have a lot of suggestions.
Okay.
J Speed and CJ, and of course Brian had plenty of suggestions, and a lot of them they were making notes right then and there. And at one point, I think they were even going to, I don't know what it would be, the spreadsheets and writing it in.
Yep.
Like right then, it's done. I like that. Let's do it right now.
All right.
So, a lot of that stuff was, they did, during these meetings with us, they listened, and they either agreed and wanted to do it like right away, or they would say, well, this is why we're doing this, and this is why we can't do that. And
I almost enjoy that more. I do. I enjoy that more than just okay, or I like how they were pretty good about, like, if we had a suggestion that we thought was a really good idea, to say, hey, how about this? You do it like this, and we throw out our opinions, and instead of just going, oh, okay, yeah, write that down with no intention of doing it, they were actually pretty honest with us. They said, well, listen, yes, we could do it that way, but we're not going to, and this is why. It's good to have that reasoning why, because it's not just like a nope. Okay. No, they gave us a reason. They said, well, we're not doing it that way because we're doing it this way, and this is why. And they would elaborate, which was really good. So it helps to reinforce the idea. Not only are they listening, but, so we had a good idea, and it didn't get implemented. Oh, they screwed us over. They didn't even listen to us. Well, they did. And they told us why, which was a very good way to go about it, I think.
That's one thing that I like the most about being there. Well, one of the things about being there in the meetings was how forward they were and how open they were to show us everything. Like literally pull it up on the screen and say, here it is. This is how we do it. This is what we've done. There it is for you to look at, and it's all right here. And like Turf Wars, for example, you have each challenge, and then each challenge is a world tour. Each world tour goes into a season. And then it'll say world tour, and then this explains exactly what it is and how it's done and what your rewards will be. And there's a lot of, you can't change something that they've already got set in stone. But
right.
adding to something is always, always easy for them at this point. Before,
Mhm.
6.5 and the way we're playing now, you can't add anything to it. It'll break something else.
Oh, yeah, the system will just
Like you said,
crumble.
siding on and it ruins the carpet. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Change the carpet and then well the subfloor is tore out, so you got to change that. Well, then now that you've done that, well the light fixture's broke. It's just what in the world? So yeah, they had a mess. They had a huge mess, and they're doing what they can to restore it. And the best part is, guys, I mean, we could have just been like when what was it, 2 months ago now when they brought this all up, they could have just shut us down. You go to get on your game and you had nothing.
Sure.
And then, in a month from now, all of a sudden, Racing Rivals live, blah, blah, blah.
Right, Racing Rivals 2.0 or whatever.
Yeah, and you go on and, okay, well, now you're starting from scratch. You don't have anything.
Yep.
I mean, this way, if you do get burnt out on something, you can always go to your legacy garage and race your cars anytime you want, just so it's there. I mean, you can't paint them, but you can go play with them. You can go test track. It'll be just fine.
Absolutely. So,
we're lucky that they did that because it would have been a lot easier for them to just scrap all that and start over. So
I bet it would have. So I think we're going to wrap this up here, Jeff. Any last things you want to mention before we end this? Or you want to save it for another live stream? Anything?
The only thing is everyone's anxious, and like I said, it's still really raw.
Sure.
They're working on it. I know that things are getting completed, and that once they complete one thing, it frees them up to go start and work on something else, or maybe help somebody that's struggling finish something else. So I do know that things are getting done, and it's just a matter of time now, and they'll start doing the beta testing, and once we get all the bugs worked out and everything's going smooth, they'll let us know, and they'll give us plenty of time, maybe probably 2 days notice, and say, hey, you got 2 days, and this is it, and then everything will shut down, and you won't have anything. It may be a couple hours, it may be a day, whatever it takes to transfer that data over to the server, and then boom, fires back up, and we're ready to rock.
So, one more question: When's 7.0 come out?
Yeah.
Just kidding. I had to. I've seen that question in live chat about 20 times. So when's 7.0 coming out?
Yeah.
Guys, pay attention. Pay attention. We don't know when 7.0 is coming out. It's coming out in the near future. Could be 2 weeks from now. Could be a week from now. Could be a month from 2 months from now. We don't know. But pay attention and join all of the social media, Carbonated, their Facebook. What is it? Their Facebook page. They're on Twitter. They're on Instagram. Follow them and watch them on Twitch. If you join all of their social sites and outlets, you're guaranteed to know when it's coming out as soon as we know. So there you have it. Guys, I just want to thank Jeff, man. Thank you for hanging out, doing the usual turf guide that we do every Monday so far for the last month and a half now, which is awesome. But also want to thank you for sitting here and hanging out and talking about the Players Summit that you attended just last week. I'd like to have you back. I'm sure there's a lot more we can talk about. We're gonna get a hold of Frank the Tank, Dirty Hammer, maybe J Speed, Brian Gutierrez. All these people attended the Players Summit. I'm going to try to have them on one-on-one, and then maybe have a mix of a few people, because I know when people get together, there's a few of you guys can just talk about this or that, or hey, remember this, and you spark ideas and talk about things that you may have forgotten about. So anyways, Ivan, anytime, man, just make sure to join every time I live stream. Turn those video notifications on so you never miss a video. I'm Pigpen, the one and only. Want to thank my guest, Jeff Feasel, for taking the time to join and hang out with us. Thanks each and every one of you for watching. I'm Pigpen, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, Cub Scout.
Yeah.